Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome once again to stately Vaughn Manor, where Roger and I have returned for an epic Comic Book Wednesday special report. It's a special report, Roger. Today, we are going to be talking once again about the DC Comics DC Finest collections, this series of books which is DC Comics' answer to the Marvel Comics Epic Collections. Big, thick books, paperback books that reprint big chunks of continuity from their various heroes. And I was pretty excited about this set of books when I first heard about it. And when I first heard about it, I put out a video about the books and what they might be like. And then when the first couple of them came out, I put another video up, and now 10 of them have been published so far. Rather quickly, it seems. And so here's another video talking about what I think about this set of books so far. So this one I've already talked about. This was one of the very first ones that was published, Batman Year 1 and 2. And this is fantastic. Not only is Year 1 the greatest Batman story ever written, probably, you get to see all the other Batman stories that were reprinted at the time. So that was really fun. It's been a while since I've read a lot of these other Batman stories, and it was interesting to go back and revisit these because I haven't read these since, when were these published? 86 and 87. So that was cool. And also, this has some of the first work of Norm Brofogel on Batman, and he had just a great run on Batman. So this was really cool. So Batman Year 1 and 2, they got off to a great start. They have all of the years on the back that they are going to be reprinting in this set of books. It goes from the very beginning, 1938, to 2011, which is when they did the whole New 52 thing. And it shows you where the stories take place. So they don't have volume numbers on these, which is wise. But they do give you the years that they were printed, and they have those on the side as well. So this was cool. The first Batman volume was awesome. Then, of course, they had to come out with the first Superman volume, the first superhero, which reprints the Golden Age stuff. Now, this stuff has been reprinted a lot. I mean, a lot. But I think they kind of had to do it because if they're doing this big publishing project, they have to start at the beginning, I guess. And so they reprinted these stories, which are fantastic. And I'm glad they did it because, I mean, these are essential. If you've never read this stuff, you really should if you're really interested in superheroes or comic books. And this is a lot cheaper than if you were to go get an omnibus, for example. This has a lot of material in it, over 600 pages. What is this like? Well, actually, over 500 pages. It's 580 pages, which is a lot. So for $40, it's a pretty good deal. So I was happy with this. This was cool. But what else have they printed since then? Well, we've got Wonder Woman Origins and Omens. And this is really good. This is the Gail Simone era on Wonder Woman. But it doesn't just have those issues. It has some other issues also. And it's really good. I'm pretty happy with this one. I understand why they went with this for their first Wonder Woman volume, because this is a popular run. And it covers 2007 to 2009. And it's excellent stuff. The artists don't seem to know how to draw a gorilla. But, I mean, we've got some gorillas from super intelligent gorillas from Gorilla City. And they don't always really look like gorillas. But other than that minor gripe, this is a pretty excellent set of stories. Great stuff. So yeah, happy with this. So this is good. Wonder Woman, had to go with Wonder Woman after you put out Superman and Batman. And this is an excellent book. I recommend it. Then we've got the Justice League. And so they have some Silver Age Justice League, the Gardner Fox era of Justice League, which has stories from 1966 to 1969, 66 to 69. And this has some of the first stories where a bunch of superheroes from different Earths meet each other. So this is the bridge between Earths right here. And a lot of fun. This is what I always think of as the Super Friends era of the Justice League. But this is the period when Golden Age Justice League really got going and was just a lot of fun. So this is fun Silver Age stuff. I think they went with this era because it's important, because this is when the whole multiple Earths idea started floating around. It first started in The Flash, but you've got all of these different characters from the Justice Society and the Justice League meeting each other, which is just really cool. This is some really cool stuff. So yeah, the Justice League of America, the bridge between Earths, excellent. Happy to see this. And of course I was happy to see this. This is The Flash, the Human Thunderbolt, which has the very first Silver Age Flash stories. So the Barry Allen Flash stories. And the Flash is an important character. This version of the Flash is important because he ushered in the Silver Age, really. He brought in the Silver Age and kind of brought back superheroes. Superheroes had been at this point kind of languishing. You still had Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and I think Aquaman was still floating around out there. But otherwise, superheroes were kind of dead at this point in 1956. But this character really brought them back in a big way. So this has stories from 1956 up to 1961. It has 640 pages. And this is really cool. So this is basically a big chunk of the Silver Age Flash Omnibus, only for a lot cheaper. But it does have some stuff that the Silver Age Omnibus didn't have. There are some extra pages in these stories. Of course, now that I'm looking for them, I will not find them. But there is some extra pages in here of stuff that showed up between the stories. Like this stuff, Flash Facts and Amazing Speeds. I will have to double check, but I don't remember this stuff being in the Flash Omnibus. I think they might have, at least I have the first edition, at least in that they might have not had this stuff in there. But it's in here, and it's awesome. And this particular character, the Flash, just so great. The origin issue of this is just fantastic. I love this character, so of course I'm happy to see this. This is just the right place to start with this character, of course. And this next one I was really excited about. This is the Justice Society of America, for America and Democracy. And this has a bunch of stuff that I've never read for the Justice Society, which has stories from 1940 to 1942. So really cool Golden Age stuff, which I've never read any of this stuff. This stuff was available in some hardcover volumes that were printed about 100 years ago. But otherwise, not often reprinted this stuff. So this is great. There's been some gripes because this starts with All-Star Comics number 3 and doesn't print All-Star Comics 1 and 2. I think that might be because the Justice Society of America wasn't in the first 2 issues of All-Star Comics. I think they started with issue 3. I think. Let me know if I'm wrong. Like I said, I never read any of this stuff, and I'm just happy to have it to read it. So yeah, this is one of the volumes I really look forward to getting to. So yeah, this is awesome, and they're going to come out with another volume of the Justice Society of America coming out soon. And then we've got the Legion of Superheroes. Zap Goes the Legion. And this is interesting that they started here. This has some of the late 60s, early 70s stories. So it goes from 68 to 74. So you have a bunch of Legion stories from the Bronze Age, which you don't often see, which is, I think, why they reprinted these stories. I don't think these stories are often reprinted. The only thing about this is I would have expected them to start with the first Legion stories, the Silver Age stories, just because I don't think too many people are familiar with the Legion. I mean, other than fans, other than diehard fans, who are probably thrilled to get this stuff reprinted. For the average comic book reader, I'm not sure if there are a ton of Legion fans out there. And so maybe starting off with the first few issues would have been what I would have done. But who cares what I would have done? I'm happy to get these stories of the Legion. So and like I said, I don't think these stories have been reprinted that often, if at all, really. So yeah, Legion of the Superheroes. Zap Goes the Legion. 60s and 70s Legion stuff. And then we've got a few more. Now this one, they're doing events volumes also in this series, because comic books, they have to have these big all-encompassing events, including this one. This is 0 Hour Crisis in Time Part 1. So basically what they did is they took the 0 Hour Omnibus, I think, and just split it in half. And 0 Hour was an interesting event. This took place in 1994. And at this point, it had been a number of years since Crisis on Infinite Earths, the first big major event, happened. And I think DC Comics felt like they had to reset things, because it had been over a decade, and they wanted to update the characters and make them all youthful again. And this was their attempt at doing that. And also I think Crisis on Infinite Earths had some unfortunate repercussions as far as continuity and making a lot of things just not make sense. I think maybe this was an attempt to sort of readjust some of that, and it failed. Anytime they try anything like that, it fails. I remember this not being great, but it does have some awesome Jerry Ordway art, which, makes it worth it, because Jerry Ordway is a fantastic artist, and it has a bunch of the issues in it that, were all part of the event, all the crossover issues. So you get a bunch of issues that you might not have read otherwise. All of these random crossover issues. So this will be interesting. It's been a long time since I've read a lot of this stuff. It's been a long time since I've read 0 Hour. And like I said, the main draw for that was Jerry Ordway's art. So we'll see how that is. Then we have a Catwoman volume. This is Catwoman Lifelines, which has stuff over a fairly long period of time, from 1988 to 1994. All of the solo Catwoman stuff. So Catwoman is just like a Batman villain, really, in my mind. But she has a lot of stories. So this has some Showcase Presents stories, it looks like, and it also has the Catwoman miniseries. She got her own miniseries back in the 80s. And then she ended up getting her own main series. And I can't remember if Catwoman has a series going on right now. Probably. Then we got some more Showcase stories. So this just has a bunch of stuff in it. And I read some of this. I don't think I've read all of this. Like some of this Catwoman, the Catwoman main series here. I haven't read this in a long time. So this will give me a chance to read all of this stuff. So I will give my opinion on it after I've read it. It's been a while since I've read a lot of this stuff, but it's interesting that they're putting it out. That's kind of cool. So Catwoman, and they're coming out with another Catwoman volume. And the last one here, they put out a lot, is Green Lantern, Silver Age Green Lantern, The Defeat of Green Lantern. So this has Silver Age Green Lantern stories from 63 to 65. So this does not have the origin of the Silver Age Green Lantern and those early Silver Age Green Lantern stories. This picks up a little later. Again, I kind of wonder why they didn't. If you're going to start this early in the Silver Age, I'm not sure why you wouldn't start with the first bunch of stories. Who knows? But they're good stories. They're great stories, actually. You got John Broome, Gardner Fox, and of course, Gil Kane on artwork. Gil Kane, one of the greatest comic book artists of all time. And this is the series he's really remembered for, I think. Green Lantern, because this was his breakout work. He didn't really cut loose as an artist until he left Green Lantern. And so the artwork you'll see Gil Kane do on a lot of the Marvel stuff that he did. He drew everybody, though. I mean, he drew everybody for every character, I think, for DC and Marvel Comics. But this is early Gil Kane. But you do see him develop as an artist. And you see some of that in this volume. So it's awesome. The Silver Age Green Lantern, it has always been my favorite. This is just such a great version of this character. And Green Lantern is a character that has not always been treated kindly by DC Comics, to say the least. But there have been some great Green Lantern runs over the years. And there have been some terrible Green Lantern runs over the years. It's really gone up and down. But this is the early stuff. Not the earliest Silver Age stuff, but early stuff. And yeah, definitely worth your time. This is great. So I've been really happy with this series of books so far. I don't know how it's selling. I have no idea how successful this has been. I'm assuming they've probably done pretty well, because there was a lot of excitement regarding these books. And they are their answer to Marvel's Epic Collections, which has been a very, very successful and popular run of trade paperbacks. So we'll see. I'm hoping that DC Comics keeps this line going for years and years, because I've really enjoyed it. And it shows you just DC Comics has such a vast library of comics. They've got such a history. They've got so much stuff. And a lot of it has not seen the light of day for years and years. A lot of it has just not been reprinted forever. So yeah, so this is cool. And we're getting a lot more of these coming up. I'll show them as they appear. But yeah, so far the 10 that they have published, and they've published them rather quickly, have been pretty great. So yeah, very happy with these so far. I will shut up now. I've gone on and on and on. That was my special report, Roger. Wasn't it thrilling? Okay, guys, I will catch you next time.